Are you obsessed with the game of tennis? I mean, you love it with all your heart and soul, but sometimes the game just starts to feel overwhelming. You're out there on the court and the swing thoughts are wearing you down, the shot selection, you're not sure if you're hitting the right shot at the right spot, and you're also confused if you're standing in the right court positioning. Well, don't feel bad. The game of tennis is hard. It is complex. It is confusing. So today, to get you ready for the 2026 season, I'm going to teach you the 5 big rocks that I want you to focus on the hardest so that you can get the best results and have your best year ever on court next year. All right? Because what happens too often is that people watch a lot of videos. They get excited about what I call the shiny objects, which end up being nothing more than sand and pebbles that you're adding to your game. You're wasting your time, you're losing your focus, and you're not focused on the things that are actually winning at your level today and are gonna get you to the next level tomorrow. So if you're ready, let's go through my list of the 5 big rocks I want you focused on over the next 12 months. Let's get started. Okay, so the first big rock is the transition game. From here to here. I've got this in my hand because I want you to create a notepad for yourself or use your phone. Keep track. I want you to ask yourself after every match until you are the best, who was the best on the doubles court playing from here to here, this transition game. So many tennis players are working on so many things in their game, and how many times have you taken a lesson where all you're focused on is going from here up to here and being outstanding at it? I know very few club players, unless they are a strong 4 or 5 player, who are just incredible in this area. And this is where you're going to have to make the most skillful shots in tennis. Your approach shots, which are so key, because you know what happens? First of all, many people just miss their approach shot. Secondly, they don't come in behind a good approach shot, so they either get passed or lobbed all the time, or they end up hitting a very tough first volley. So when you're hitting your approach shots, of course, everybody loves to rip a ball. Now remember, most of you out there are playing doubles. Now it is cool to rip some approach shots. I'm not saying not to work on that. I want you to work on that. I want you to have that shot. But you must, if you are playing doubles, I am telling you, don't resist me on this. Get a continental grip and learn how to be absolutely deadly with the chip. And what I want you to get great at is improving your return of serve, but especially the second serve. You have a big opportunity to dominate second serve. So I want you to be excellent at chip and charge. The nice little bump lob over the person in front of you. Hitting a little draw play. I also like to teach people to do what's called a chip and trap. Everybody thinks because you have a short ball that you automatically need to come in. But again, a lot of people out there are not comfortable yet transitioning to the net. So if you get a ball right here and you're not great at coming to the net, you can bring people in, draw them in, and now you can pass and lob them. Be absolutely deadly with second serve returns and approach shots. Master your rip and your chip, but especially your chip. The next thing I want you to do is that first volley. As you move up levels, of course, the game gets easier. I advise you to be up here, be able to hit lots of volleys. But as you move up levels, good players are going to force you to hit shots in uncomfortable parts of the court. They're smart. They have good shot selection. They know how to get you in a vulnerable place. So you want to be better and better at your transition volleys, okay? So again, that comes to being amazing with the continental grip. If you haven't written this down yet, don't worry, because I'm going to give you notes on every single one when you go in the description after this video. You don't even need to opt in. I'll just put all the notes to this video, but a big note that's going to be in there is mastering the continental grip on your way to the net, okay? So get great at the transition game, and after every single match, and I mean this, I want to keep score. Was I the 4th best player on the court today in the transition area? Was I the 3rd best player? Was I the 2nd best player? Was I the best player? And your goal is by the end of 2026 that you'll be able to consistently write down, oh, I was number 1 today, I was number 1 today, I was number 1 today. And when you do that, tell me if you are not starting to become one of the best players at your level and you feel like you're starting to be ready to move up to the next level. Okay, let's move on to big rock number 2. The second big rock I want you to focus on is what I call the lob bunker. I am very far. Look, I can touch the fence with my racket with one step. People do not get far enough back in the lob bunker, especially if you're playing a team that has a powerful overhead. I see so many, guys, I run countless clinics out here in Atlanta, in Cincinnati, down in Florida. Hopefully you can come to one next year. But I'm telling you, you all do the same thing. You throw up a lob, you stand on the baseline, and then you react like this. You overreact, and then you miss the shot. I want when you hit your first lob, if you see your opponents not having to turn their back, and you see this, especially if you know that they can hit the ball hard, give them respect to back up and get in your lob bunker. Now, once I back up in my lob bunker, guess what my mindset is? I'm literally thinking infinite lobs. I'm ready to lob to infinity on you. I don't care, because I know that if I can hit at least 2 to 3 lobs past the service line that has some good height on it, guess what's going to happen? A couple things are going to happen. Number 1, you're going to make an unforced error. Number 2 is you're going to struggle to get one, and you're going to hit a weak overhead that then naturally brings me forward. I can see the court in front of your feet. Now I can attack your feet, and I can transition, right? Because I'm working my transition game, because that's big rock number 1, and I can transition and take over offense on you. What happens is people just don't like feeling and get comfortable on defense. They don't like the feeling of being on defense, and so they'll hit one lob, and then they're trying to force their way out of the shot. What you want to do, again, that continental grip, and just learn to pitch the ball up. Just getting height on your lobs. It doesn't have to be spectacular. Even if it's right in the center of the court, the less risk, the better. The more height, the better. As long as it goes past that white service line, you are golden, my friend, and you are going to win so many points. So work on your lob, because I will tell you this, again, from running clinics, probably one of the least practiced thing and ugliest parts of my weekends, when I tell people, hey, work on lobs and overhead. One team hits lobs, the other team hits overheads. People cannot maintain a rally, okay? So that's another big goal I want you to write down. Whether it's your coach, whether it's a friend that you show this video to and you can convince them to work on the 5 big rocks with you, work on, first of all, getting a continental grip, and think about when you watch a tennis match. You see how they do lobs and overheads in the warm-up, and what are the pros doing? They're not doing any big swings, anything unorthodox. They're just literally going, doop, doop. Look how simple that is. It looks simple. It is simple, but it's not simple until you get the feeling. So don't take it for granted that you're looking at me doing and go, oh, that's easy. It ain't easy until you make it easy, okay? Then it is easy. All right, let's get to the next big rock. Big rock number 3, okay? This is huge. I'm not going to call it an overhead. You know what I'm calling number 3? High ball IQ. Why am I not calling it an overhead? Because you all hit too many overheads off balls you should not be hitting overheads off of, and it's costing you a ton of points. Remember how Roger Federer said the reason why I won so many matches is because I only won 54% of the points? And I'm telling you, you play doubles, you're going to get a lot of high balls, and you miss a lot of high balls. How do I know this? Because you all come out to me all the time, and I see you, and I see what you miss, and I see what you make. So overheads, again, one of the most missed, abused shots in all of adult tennis. So what I want you to start thinking about is if you have an overhead that you have a really good look at, service box and in, and you're set up and your legs feel balanced, then yes, you can smash the overhead. And not only just giving the green light to smash the overhead, you better be practicing a lot of overheads. Try and hit a minimum of 100 overheads throughout the week. That's not a lot of overheads in a week. It sounds like a lot, 100, right? We got 3 digits there. But I'm telling you, just do like 25 overheads 4 times a week. It's not that much. It won't take that long. And you want to keep that overhead timing down. So when you get a good look, you are making your opponents pay. Now, once you start to leave the line and you're behind the line, I want you to seriously consider the most unsexy, but one of the most effective shots at club doubles that will save and win you points is, I call it the bump lob volley. First of all, we've all been taught that the waiter tray is a bad habit, but not on this. I want you to get yourself back in the waiter tray position as you move back. And then when you hit it, I want you to bump it. Absolutely no wrist. I want your wrist to stop at the top. I repeat, stop at the top with your wrist. Do not let it go like this, because what I see so many people do is they're right there with the ball, and then they do one final swipe to try and get it, and they end up whiffing, they end up hitting the frame, they end up putting it down the net, it flies over the fence. But if I come back here and just bump it and find the safe part of the court, I'm going to show you what the safe part of the court mostly is, okay? So most points are set up, right? Let's say I'm the one transitioning diagonally cross court. The point most of the time is going to be set up to where the net person is going to be in front of me and the other person is going to be back there, the baseliner. If it's set up like that and I get a cross court lob, I want to make sure that I bump it deep back in that corner. Just doing that is going to win you so many points, whether you're 3-0, 3-5, 4-0, 4-5, 5-0. I'm telling you, that's going to be super effective. And what you want to do is judge your momentum. If your momentum can go here and then push forward off that wasn't very good. Let me try that again. If I go back here and then push forward off that, then I can go right back to the net. If I'm stumbling back and struggling, I probably just want to push it back and then get back. I might even have to run back to the lob bunker if I do hit it short and I see them approaching on me, but that's fine. Don't panic. You're still in the point. Just transition your mind to get in the lob bunker and play defense. There's no big deal from going and giving up offense and going to defense. If it's not a big deal to you, you'll still win a lot of those points. If you feel panicking that you're losing the momentum of the point, then you're going to play a stupid shot. The last thing I want you to think about is definitely when you have to lift one leg off the ground. When I lift one leg off the ground, don't hit overheads. I call these tin cup overheads. Yes, you can probably make them, but you miss so many more than you make. And you're thinking, well, I should make that shot because I make that shot. I'm not arguing with you. Yes, you can make that shot. You are good enough to make that shot, but you're also, I don't want to say, you're going to miss the shot, okay? You're going to miss the shot too many times. Don't do it. I'm telling you this out of tough love. I've seen it too many times. Just make the ball back. Play the next one. The next one, you might get that nice, beautiful overhead smash that makes you the hero of the point, okay? Don't always think that you're going to get so few chances to be the hero. The more you play a smart shot, you get more chances of being the hero and hitting the glory shots that we all dream about. Okay, let's go to our next big rock. Okay, big rock number 4. And again, work on this. Just don't watch it go, oh, that makes sense. I'll do it. Your body will not do this until you train it, even though it looks so simplistic. I'm telling you, I see club players do this all the time. And even when we point out that they're doing it and they acknowledge it, they still do it the very next point. So you've got to work on this. And what I call this is +1 rally ball training. So whether you are serving or returning, today I'm going to show you the return because this is where you guys really mess up. I need you to try and establish and get back into your rally about this far back. The pros need this much space, so you do too, okay? So let's say I told you that you had to return serve right here. You would say, Pete, that's insane. But yet, when I say, is everybody ready to rally? They stand right here on the line, and I say, move back, and then they move back that much, right? Think about that. How much skill it takes to take the ball right off the line. That's called an on-the-rise shot. It's one of the hardest things to do in tennis. We want to do that as least as we have to, okay? We don't want to be hitting constantly off our shoelaces to make shots, yet that's the core position you guys choose to play in. So what I see lots of times is that you're playing opponents who have a weaker serve, but you're not going to come to the net, and you don't have to come to the net. It's fine to hit returns and get back into a rally. So what I see is smartly, you are here because the serve is weak. If you're to stand back there, you're going to have to run forward and stretch to get there. Here, you can comfortably hit a return. Now, what happens is a couple things. You hit a return, and then you stay here, and then you get stuck. That's like the worst, okay? The next thing I see more often is you hit a return, you get back. You can only get back to about here, and then it's time to stop because you haven't moved all the way back. So then they hit the ball, and then you're here, and then you're hitting the next ball, and you're either missing it, or even if you make it, you just stand here, and now you're stuck, okay? So what your goal should be is to hit and try and give yourself time, so maybe hit the ball a little higher to where you can get back to here so you can establish your first ball +1 rally ball. And just a nice strong rally ball cross court, nice and high, nice and conservative. Now, if you can't get all the way back there because you hit the ball too fast or you're not fast enough, that's okay. Let's call it +2, right? I'll take +2. That's fine too. So hit, maybe you can get to here. Now you got to stop, do whatever you can to make it again. And then as you hit that shot, get back. Don't get stuck there. So work on your +1, we'll call it +1, +2 training, okay? Because sometimes it's going to take you 2. That's fine if you can't do it in 1. But make sure you just don't stop there. Make sure you get to here. And I'm telling you, if you can learn how to do that consistently and find yourself in rallies, then all of a sudden the game gets a lot more comfortable. You can make a lot more clear decisions rather than being in panic mode all the time. Okay, guys, big rock number 5 is second serve confidence, okay? It's very important that you can walk up to the line and swing as fast as you want and get that ball to go in. In fact, it's so important, I've dedicated an entire video to helping you master the #1 serve you need to have a second serve in 2026 that you trust under pressure. And not only do you trust it under pressure, it's also going to give you free points consistently throughout the match and help set up your partner for easy poaches. So watch that video. I'm putting it somewhere here, and hopefully you enjoyed my top 5 list. And I'm also putting the PDF below here so you can go and you can look at the notes from this video. See you guys on the next video.